Fantastic communication between us and USA Containers. Weather-related issues meant we had to postpone delivery several times. When the delivery was scheduled and delivered, the driver was awesome! He went out of his way to make the process perfect. Thank you. My representative Jaylene was amazing during the purchase process. My unit arrived within 4 days of ordering. DH3 container is in good condition. We are already planning on buying a second unit. Thank you Jaylene for such professional work, and you were always available to answer questions and guide the process. Thank you again. Pleasure doing business with you. We work for a major defense contractor in the Austin, Texas area. We had to order 7 8x20 containers that had dual doors on both ends. Extremely hard to find. They had the lowest price by far than anyone in this area for 500 miles and was able to deliver almost right away. Also, although we ordered used, these showed up in brand new pristine condition. Literally it was hard to find anything wrong with these containers at all. Would we order from them again? Yes, 1000%. Anna Bowman Beckemeyer was exceptional, going above and beyond in all areas. She ensured all my questions were answered and put my concerns at ease. Despite a few logistical hiccups, such as weather, which were beyond anyone's control, it was a great experience overall. I purchased 340HC units in Calhoun, Colorado. One suggestion for improvement would be to offer a payment on delivery option in Colorado. I had a 40-foot container delivered to Alberta, Canada. The delivery was a bit rough as the trailer to deliver it broke and it couldn't be delivered in the time frame I needed it, but Jonathan and the group were very good to keep me informed and even contacted me on Thanksgiving Day to give me an update. I know things were out of their control and they did all they could do. I was very appreciative of the constant communication. The whole experience was excellent, from the maintaining contact until I was able to make my purchase, then the actual purchase, through delivery. The contract was clear on expectations on both sides. The container was exactly as described, delivery was excellent and the driver was great. I would use this company again if I ever need another container. This company operates like a well-oiled machine! I really appreciated my veterans discount. Special thanks to Beatrice for assisting with my delivery needs. Special thanks to my sales rep, Ashley MacArthur, who stayed by my side during my constantly changing circumstances. And last but not least, my very talented delivery driver, Terrence! He was a great help and lots of fun. He was amazing and knew exactly what he was doing and what needed to be done. Thank you all for a very pleasant experience. My friends and family were worried that I would get scammed making a purchase like this. I did my due diligence and checked the BBB report and convinced myself that USA Containers was very legitimate and reputable. No one need worry about being scammed if they are using USA Containers. Absolutely 100% recommend this company, right in line with pricing, and my delivery driver was phenomenal. I wish I knew his name so I could give him a shout out in the review. Couldn't have asked for a better experience. I'm very pleased with USA Containers. Mr. Miguel coordinated through phone, was very professional and very patient. I also am very pleased with the driver that delivered the container. I think his name is James. Very professional, and even though it took a lot of maneuvering to get it in the spot I wanted it, he was at all time courteous and kind. Very patient. I am very satisfied and I would recommend this company if you want a shipping container. I also received the military discount as they advertise. Thank you USA Containers. Y'all are awesome. Jonathan, and Nikki, and everyone else at USA Container was very professional, service was great and will probably make more purchases. Thank you very much and have a blessed day. Plus TD, Montoya. USA Containers was on top of the purchase from start to finish. I spent not a dime until the container was on site. The delivery driver did a fantastic job placing the container. I will use this service again. I had a lot of issues with the delivery, personal reasons. Yard was too wet for several months in a row. They always made sure to work with me on delivery. We had to reschedule the delivery probably 7 times until finally I got them. Every time was my fault, but their ability to continue working with me was very nice and the containers are of good quality. Prices are more than fair. Honestly, a pleasure to work with. I was skeptical about buying a shipping container online because of the rampant fraud these days, but I had a very amazing experience with Jaylene. Highly recommended.
Beatrice Zama has truly been a godsend. I was struggling to get a storage container and had already been scammed twice by companies on Facebook Marketplace. She understood my situation and worked with me to ensure delivery on the specific date I needed. Even though the weather was beyond our control, Carrie stepped in and made everything happen seamlessly. Jeremy, the delivery driver, was equally fantastic. He was patient and went above and beyond to help me position the container exactly where I wanted it. I highly recommend USA Container Zone B deliveries for all your storage container needs.
Jaylene was awesome, very helpful and made everything easy for us. Good business and no surprises or hidden fees. I really appreciate receiving the container. Ada was so helpful in making sure everything was taken care of even though I had to delay delivery several times. She worked with me. The delivery guy, Aaron Kern, was awesome. He was there on time and was complete within 45 minutes. Thanks again. Would recommend to anyone who needs a container. I had the honor to work with a very professional salesperson, Karolna Randina. Karolna was upfront and honest about their containers. We bought 6 total containers to build a live fire training building. Once we paid for them, they set up a delivery date, and all 6 showed up within the dates promised. I would buy from USA Containers again. Great company to do business with. Fire Chief Steve Mojzuk, Cortland DWP Fire Department. Great experience with USA Containers. Gabriella was my point of contact and got everything all set up. She was able to answer all of my questions along the way. If she didn't know the answer, she would quickly reach out and respond back very quickly. I was nervous to buy sight unseen, but with her confidence and reassurance I felt at ease. Beatrice arranged the delivery and worked with me around weather and my work schedule. She was very responsive to emails throughout the process. The delivery driver was very prompt with updates on the 2-hour trip to my farm. He did an excellent job of placement and helped me with moving the railroad ties into place for the container to rest on. All around great job and will keep in mind for future needs of storage. Great transaction all the way around. My container arrived earlier than expected and was virtually brand new. 1 trip used, the price was fair and customer service was excellent. I had a direct phone number for the agent helping with my purchase and she answered all my questions, sent photos of similar containers, and helped immensely without being pushy. Less than half the cost of a wooden shed, it's airtight, watertight and rodent-proof, the perfect place to store animal feed, hay, straw, bedding etc. I'm very pleased with this company. Jonathan set up the delivery time and date and sent me pictures of the 40-feet container already on the trailer for my approval. Delivery driver Mark did an excellent job keeping in touch where he was and when he would arrive. He was right on time and placed the container right where I wanted in a really tight space and narrow road. First class late model equipment also. 5 stars to both of these guys and USA Containers. Would do business again anytime. Not rain, nor sleet, nor dark night interfered with my delivery. Excellent container, excellent service, excellent delivery. I am so pleased. You were great. USA Containers are great. The driver was on time, professional and did a heck of a job getting it in a tight place. He wasn't happy until he got it where I wanted. The one-time used container looks brand new. Thanks. I picked them because it's pay upon delivery. There are lots of scams out there. Be careful. Took some coordination but really appreciate the individual attention. Was my first time purchasing a 40 container and I had a lot of questions concerns. Everyone was very patient and helpful. On delivery day, the driver was very communicative. He was very careful not to damage my property. Nothing felt rushed. He was very polite and very respectful. Thank you guys. I will absolutely shop here again. Jaylene was very helpful getting my container delivery set up, consistent follow-ups and genuinely cared about my experience. Marks executed a perfect delivery to my house with a tight entrance. Thanks! Will definitely use this company again. The purchasing process was easy. The delivery guy was friendly. The container was in good shape and arrived sooner than expected. My only complaint is that one of the doors doesn't latch smoothly, but I'm pretty handy and I believe I can fix it. Overall, I am very satisfied with my container and I've already recommended USA Containers to a co-worker. The driver was awesome. Don't recall his name but definitely was very polite and definitely need more people like him in the world. And the service from the sales representative was great. Pleasure doing business with this company. Everything went exceptionally well. Glad I made the decision to buy from this company. Everything was absolutely as smooth as it could be. Delivery was timely. Container was immaculate. My driver, William, kept me updated on a regular basis with his ETA from the time he left with the container until he arrived. From start to finish, they are very responsive and the quote was on point. They were very helpful and respectful. Couldn't ask for a better experience. The delivery driver was outstanding! I will recommend them to everyone I know looking for a container. I will also use them again without a doubt! Very happy. Excellent communication and delivery. Mike, the man who delivered, gave me great advice that I didn't even ask for to ensure my container would be able to be used as I needed. Overall experience A+. This company is great. I ordered my container and locked on a delivery date. Then several strings of bad weather hit, preventing delivery. They worked with me to reschedule the delivery in a small window of good weather. Thank you. Great company to do business with. Professional and honest and supportive through the process. The driver, Marks Contreras, was on time, friendly and professional. The drop location was difficult and he took the time to place exactly where I wanted without a problem. Best price I found. I found them on Facebook and Kristen and Drew Mock were very responsive and patient with all my questions. The doors of the container work really good and we didn't have any issues with condition. I sent a text to USA Containers requesting a quote for a used container to be delivered. Chrissy from USA Containers replied back right away with a few questions to determine my requirements for the size, type and grade of container I needed. I received a quote within a few hours for a container delivered to my location. Chrissy was great to work with and I received my container on the day it was scheduled. The delivery driver was also great to work with. Everyone was very knowledgeable with their products and service. I would recommend USA Containers to others interested in this product. Terrific all around from start to finish. Kaylin kept me informed of everything and best prices I have found, and you don't pay until it is delivered as well. It was refreshing to not have to worry about being scammed online. Nate was very helpful from start to finish, responded to all my questions within minutes, made me feel that I was getting my container without any worries. Delivery driver was very nice, courteous. Excellent product at a competitive price, amazing customer service for the beginning through the end, and friendly and professional delivery service. What more could you ask for? I spoke to Iris. She was very professional and answered all of my concerns/questions. Iris made the entire purchasing process as simple and straightforward as possible. USA is lucky to have such a wonderful employee. Sincerely, Paul R. O'Keefe, President WGC. From the start everything was great. I said I needed it quick. They did their best. They let me know that HC would take longer, so I took ISTD container. I was given a discount of $100 for being a first responder. That is great. The delivery driver told me what time he would be here and he was right on. Very friendly driver. He was a hoot, unloaded where I needed it. I got it on an earlier day than I expected. I would recommend this company to anyone. Great experience from start to finish. Elise was amazing in her ability to answer all my questions and give me a clear understanding of the process. She was responsive throughout and assured me that USA Containers would take care of me. Once the sale was made, I had the privilege of working with Beatrice. She set up the delivery date and was very responsive and available to answer all my questions. Day of delivery, even Josh the driver was great. He contacted me multiple times to assure me he was en route, an hour away, and minutes from my driveway. Couldn't have asked for a better experience. The container is great. Though used, there is no doubt this container will keep my valuables safe and secure for years to come. Thank you USA Container, Elise, Beatrice, and Josh. You rock. Everything went great from the start to the finish. Very smooth. The driver was great, put it exactly where we wanted it. No problems, 100% happy. Chase Whitley was the first person I dealt with in my 2 transactions and he was great. Everyone after all the way to the trailer drop-off was amazing. Thank you all for great experiences. Thanks for your communication and getting the container in a tight spot. Just wonderful. The coordination with Jonathan was seamless. Best price I found. I found them on Facebook, and Kristen and Drew Mock were very responsive and patient with all my questions. The doors of the container work really good and we didn't have any issues with condition. Just brought a 40 feet one-time use container. Started the process with Travis Elise and USA Containers. They stayed with me throughout the whole process. Next was Miguel Letal, logistics coordinator, who worked around weather and schedules to make sure I received my container. Last but not least was driver Terrence Hickson. This was not an easy location. Above and beyond for all. From start to finish, the whole team at USA Containers worked to make everything possible. I live on the side of a mountain. Really! ! Thank you. Good coordination with Jonathan, driver came when expected, container in good shape, A+ all around. Delivery was timely, and very professional, driver was courteous, and efficient. Containers are in great shape. Miguel, at the office, was friendly and patient, as I had a banking glitch, and needed an extra day to pay the full amount. We purchased a 40-feet container 2 weeks ago. We cannot say enough about the service from beginning to delivery and beyond. They kept us informed all of the way. The office staff was great and our delivery driver was fantastic. Great experience all the way. Purchase was simple, all details were thorough up front. Jonathan was very communicative with delivery details, delivery was prompt, and Rodney with Great Western Transport was friendly and a very competent driver. Would recommend. I purchased a pre-owned container several months ago. Upon delivery it was better than expected. Big thanks to Jonathan and Terry for making this an easy experience, and for their honesty in getting me a good product. We want to publicly state that we are very pleased with the purchase of our USA container. We worked with both Trenton with USA Storage, as well as Jonathan, logistics coordinator from USA Containers. They both were wonderful in getting us our container. It came in a timely manner, cost was great and even our delivery guy was amazing. Didn't get his name. The container did not have any holes in it either. Thank you so much for your professionalism on all sides. We will recommend all of the above to anyone looking to buy one. Jonathan. Dan responded immediately after I posted an inquiry on Facebook. He was very helpful. The whole team was courteous and worked with us to ensure the shipping container was brought to our site in a timely manner that worked with our schedule. Never ordered a container before. This was pay on arrival, which made me feel confident. Transaction was easy, there was good communication through each step of the process. Container was in good shape and the driver put it exactly where I wanted with no hassles. I'm very pleased with USA Containers. Mr. Miguel coordinated through phone, was very professional and very patient. I also am very pleased with the driver that delivered the container. I think his name is James. Very professional, and even though it took a lot of maneuvering to get it in the spot I wanted it, he was at all time courteous and kind, very patient. I am very satisfied and I would recommend this company if you want a shipping container. I also received the military discount as they advertise. Thank you USA Containers. Y'all are awesome. Excellent service. Delivered quickly. Amazing service. I will be ordering again. Miguel provided fast, friendly service. I would do business with USA Containers LLC again. Great price and fast delivery. Jonathan from logistics was very helpful. Jonathan was amazing at helping with everything from buying the right size container to deliver. He even checked to see how the weather was, to make sure the ground could take a heavy truck. ! Even changed delivery date to help us out. I would 100% buy from them again. And stick with Jonathan. Very good experience, and Miguel was very helpful and very astute on giving me the information I needed and helping me out. The driver was even very helpful and tried his best to get it in the exact location that I needed. Awesome experience! Thank you for getting us this container ASAP. We needed it quick and these guys made it happen. This was the 4th container we have received. All have been perfect. Easy payment by Zelle upon container arrival after my inspection, and driver John R. picked us a perfect one. We had a tight spot and he worked it in like the pro he is. Highly recommended you get your containers from these guys. Jonathan placed the container perfectly. He took extra time to show me how the container works and some tips to make it easier to use. Jonathan was great to work with in coordinating the delivery of the storage container, very patient, listened to my questions, and verified my preparations were adequate. After contacting some pretty shady container sellers, I had a great experience buying a 40-foot high cube from USA Containers. Quick and smooth transaction. Miguel did a great job with the logistics and worked with my tight time frame for delivery. The container was as described and in great shape. The service they used for my delivery, Blue Line Tree Services, LLC in Georgia, did a stellar job with a difficult delivery, due to the narrow road with deep ditches in front of my property, and I'm lucky USA Containers chose them for the delivery. Based on my experience, I strongly recommend USA Containers. Provided professional service, made the entire process effortless to receive and pay for. Would recommend to anyone looking. Very awesome company, great drivers. Good price, great customer service, delivery crew were great as well. Jonathan was great, we had a good experience, thank you. Fantastic experience with USA Containers. My sales rep, Heather, answered all my questions, and I had a lot of them. I actually waited about 6 months to purchase while I made sure it was going to be what I wanted/needed. Delivery was easy to coordinate, and my logistics coordinator, Jonathan, was attentive to all my emails, from questions, to help with rescheduling due to weather. He gave me his personal number in case there were weather issues. The driver called me beforehand, gave me an ETA, and texted me updates on his ETA the whole way. He parked it exactly where I wanted it. The container itself was a one-trip. It was in new condition, doors closed, even off-level, no holes. The floor looked brand new. We are considering another container later on and would purchase from USA Containers again. Absolutely no complaints. Jonathan was very helpful working with us to get our container ordered and delivered. Great experience and we love our new container. Thank you. Great service. Company was able to supply everything I asked for. I worked with Jonathan who set up the delivery and kept me informed of the process. Jonathan scheduled the container to be delivered by Leo, who arrived when scheduled and set the container exactly where we needed it. Great service and we'll use them again. Beatrice was very helpful, made the purchase very easy, would recommend friends and family for sure.